the National Monument of Scotland, a 12-pillared construction that lies on top of Calton Hill, one of the 7 hills in Edinburgh. It was built to commemorate the Scottish soldiers that had died during the Napoleonic Wars, but the monument was never completed. But why does it look like an ancient Greek temple? What is the reason behind its incompletion, and what does this mean for the Scottish population today? The construction of the monument began in the year 1826 as a way of commemorating the fallen Scottish soldiers during the Napoleonic Wars. However, in 1829, the construction was left unfinished due to the fact that the public fundings that financed the project ran out.
But what was the purpose of the construction of this monument?
Experts are in disagreement on this topic.
Some believe it was supposed to look unfinished, while others say it was economic issues that caused its incompletion.
The truth of the matter is it was designed to be a modern replica of the Parthenon in Athens, and it was designed by William Playfair to be a complete kind of version of that in its entirety. It was paid for by public subscription. That is, kind of individual citizens would donate money to kind of make it kind of happen. It wasn't a government kind of plan. Works began before all of the money was raised, and therein was the kind of problem, because the monument started not long after the Napoleonic Wars had kind of finished. So the real challenge they had was not actually having all the money in the bank before they could complete the kind of vision.
So what does it mean for the Scottish self-perception that their national monument throughout centuries has been called a disgrace? I'm on my way to find out.
It should be noted that there wasn't kind of a general support for building the monument in the first place. Where it sits on Calton Hill was one of the very first public parks in Scotland. So the idea of building a big memorial for some people was not actually a good idea. And it was part of the ambition, the kind of scale and the design of it, to emphasise kind of Edinburgh's importance as an intellectual centre of the world, the Athens of the North. It became part of that kind of essence of kind of Edinburgh, which was a reminder in a physical sense of what the city had become intellectually. So when the monument wasn't able to be completed, there was some embarrassment, some concern. It became known as, Edinburgh's disgrace. We weren't able to kind of complete it. But I think quite quickly over time, people just got used to seeing what it was on the skyline of kind of Edinburgh as you look up and you see what is still a very grand monument, although not even kind of finished. And interestingly, it's one of those iconic symbols. If you took a photograph of it and you showed it to many people from other countries and you said, "Where is this?" most people would probably say, "Oh, that's Edinburgh." So it's interesting how in one sense it wasn't completed, and therefore was a bit of an embarrassment because of it. But in another, the state it's in, it's actually helped cement that global reputation that Edinburgh has. And today, if you kind of look at it now, it's just a very important part where citizens of the city have, I think, great pride of having something of such spectacular beauty, even if a bit rustic and incomplete as a result. In the year 2000, there was a proposal to complete the monument, but with a glass box and a very modern kind of idiom, and to turn it into a sculpture park for light sculptures. And there was a huge outcry amongst the citizens of kind of Edinburgh for 2 reasons. One is, you're spoiling our national monument, please stop. But the other, I think quite interestingly, was the attempts to commercialise that kind of public space. Because if they built this big gallery, there would be a gate and you'd have to pay money to go through. And the good folk of Edinburgh weren't going to have that. So I think everybody's quite happy with how Calton Hill sits at the moment.